she baba oh, oh she baba, baba baba she baba oh.
Welcome to Soil to Soul 360. I'm Clifton Joseph. This program is a collaboration between a different Booklist Cultural Center, the People's Residence, and the African Canadian Food Basket. Today we have André Rose. He's the founder of the underwear brand, the bamboo-made underwear brand, Steele by André Rose. He's a fitness and wellness professional and author of the recent book, Buns of Steel, The Unstoppable Pursuit of Fitness. André, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me, Clifton.
And I must say, brother man, you do look fit.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, you know what I'm saying? Thank you for taking the time. Your interest for fitness, bodybuilding, and all of that was sparked in Jamaica when the job you were working at, the dude who was ahead of his time, it seems to me, the boss said that we're going to take you out to the gym. I won't pay for the gym. What was so inspiring about the gym that you just got that bug?
I think when I went to the gym and I picked up those two first dumbbell, that was where my passion came for fitness. And I think because at the time I was too short and I wanted to just have some sense of look good, and I started from there on, and I just continued to move on from there.
How intimidating was that first process, though? Because a lot of times you go into a gym, you see all this equipment you don't know how to use and shit, right? And you see all these buff people who've been there before who got their regimen, and here you come in them a rookie. That, a lot of times, is very intimidating. How was it for you, man?
Well, one of the good things about it was that the the gym it was a small mom and pop gym. It wasn't like a Good Life kind of a gym. It's a mom and pop kind of gym. And there was a trainer that was at the gym. So the intimidation, yes, was there, but not at a great extent because we were taught, you know, how to do this, how to do that in the beginning process. And that was where I actually started from.
And that group of workers started with 14, whittled down to 3 or 4, and you there, right? And you had difficulties getting to the place, then they cut the program, so now you had to dig into your pockets to do that. But you still kept on doing it.
Yeah, because we started with 14. It dwindled to, I think, 6. The boss was providing transportation for us to actually go to the gym as well.
Sweet. What's not to like in that?
Exactly.
Freeness, I'll take
So in Jamaica, there were the gym was called Sweatshop, and we were close to Spartan Health Club. So we were going from the store that I worked at was on Constant Spring Road, 169 Constant Spring Road in Halfway Tree area. So we would leave Halfway Tree area, go to New Kingston to where the other gym was. And so he would provide the transportation for us, take us to the gym, bring us back. It dwindled from 14 because the other individual thought that it was too far for them, even though they were getting drive. They thought that it was too far for them. And then it's in the evening at 6:30 when the shop is closed, and they're getting home too late to go home to their family. So it dwindled from 14 to 6, and then from 6 to 3, and then from 3 to only 2. So for me, I saw the benefit in the beginning because I loved the fitness so much, and I realized that over time my body started to change, and I continued.
Did you have a concept of what you wanted your body to look like at the end process?
No.
Or was it just then the adrenaline flow that sweat and the involvement of you pushing your body to its own extreme to what, just get exercise or to
To be honest with you, I didn't know what I was doing in the beginning. I didn't know exactly. All I knew that I was a little too short. Somebody said to me, if you're too short, you're not going to get no girl. So I was like, okay, if that's what the case is, then I'm just going to go to the gym and I'm going to continue to exercise. And I continued and I continued. And as I started to realize that there were, because I was working in the underwear, working in the retail store, and there were boxes of men's underwear that was coming into the shop. And I was looking at these guys that was on the cover of the box, and I was like, there was some sort of a connection that was taking place here. I was like, okay. And that continued.
like what you can do that.
Yeah,
I can do
you know,
that.
I was like, okay. So, because even I wasn't, we're talking about, because I started the gym in 2004 was when we started. 2002, in 2004 there was a hurricane that came, Hurricane Ivan that came, and that was when the boss stopped paying for us to go to the gym. And so we're talking into about 2006, I started to see my body started to change. And I said, it's like, if these guys were looking as...
Change how though? Change how?
As in terms of, I started to see definition. So the muscles start to come in. I started to see,
Nice
you know, I started to see the muscles started to shape, and I started to see the pectorals start to form. I was like, okay. And it continued where I started to see abs started to show as well. So I was like, okay, you know, I started to see something. And looking at the guys on the box cover of the underwear is like, oh, you know. And then in about 2009, when the movie Stella Got Her Groove came to Jamaica, because it was filmed in Jamaica in Roundel
Terry
Hotel.
McMillan's book, yeah, you were Ty Diggs,
you know,
and
Ty Diggs and Angela Bassett. So when I saw Ty Diggs, he is my inspiration. When I looked at him at that point, I was like, when I become 30 years old, I want to look like that guy. I want to be 165 pounds, ripped as him. And that's exactly when I became 30 years old. I was that kind of guy because I saw what I wanted and I worked towards that. And that's exactly what I got.
And in 2011, to fast forward there, right, you decided that you're going to immigrate to Canada as an on-the-way model. I mean, that was I'd love to be the fly on the wall with you in the immigration department when they say, dude, you're coming in to do what?
Well, one of the things is that when I was in Jamaica, I said to myself, if I move to Canada, I will become an underwear model because, you know, I was seeing myself wanting to be a face of Calvin Klein or a Tommy Hilfiger model.
Oh, yeah, because they were doing that underwear thing for a long
You know,
while. There,
so
right?
this is like seeing those boxes coming into the store and all of those stuff, and with my own challenges living in Jamaica, I decided that why not go move to Canada? So I moved to Canada, and when I came in 2011, some girl touched my ass and she said, wow, your ass feel like buns of steel, man.
Excuse
so like,
me, baby.
So I said, okay. The name stuck with me from there on, and one day I started a small little coffee business. I don't know where this entrepreneurial skill came from, or entrepreneurial spirit came from, but I think probably from my father.
This is in Jamaica?
No, here.
Oh,
this was
okay.
in Canada when I moved to Canada. And I started the business, and with the coffee company, they told us to go and buy a book called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So when I read the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he said, it's not the title of the book that sells. It's not the content of the book that sells the book, but it's actually the title, right? So in my head, I was there and I was thinking, and I saw Buns of Steel. And I assessed it at that point, the amount of social media following that I was getting because of how my body has transformed and, you know, all of that. And I was like, oh, why try to be an underwear model for Calvin Klein or Tommy Hilfiger? Why don't you start your own? And that's where the idea came from. That light bulb moment went off. And from there on, I started the Buns of Steel line. I started that in 2015, and the rest is history. And from that, spun a book out of that as well.
Wow. You've covered a lot of ground there, too. I mean, there's such a distance between when you came in 2011 to 2015. Can we go back to those maybe interim years there?
Okay.
To see, because you end up working, right?
Yes.
Working at one of the...
Mattress company.
Mattress companies.
Certain mattress company.
Doing your due there, and you still kept on your gym membership.
Yes.
Doing the gym, working out. You got more interested in bodybuilding itself.
Right. So
what about bodybuilding? How do you maintain physiques like this, man? How do you get it in the first place, and how do you maintain it?
the first thing I think is having discipline and determination. If you become disciplined about anything at all that you do, and you're determined with that as well, also incorporate passion with it, then it yields anything that you want. Because it's true to anything that we do as an individual. If you become passionate about anything, and you have a determination to see it through the end, no doubt you are going to become successful at it. With me, what I did was that I realized that fitness is something that I have a passion for. It started out of just my boss sending me to the gym. I continued with that. After coming to Canada in 2011, 2012 was when I competed professionally as a novice bodybuilder. I was going to the gym in St. Clair and Dufferin. A friend in the gym saw me and was like, "Oh, you look like you can compete, man. I got to train you and see if we can,
Nice.
train you up." And started to train me. We continued working out. I started to see where I started to now look the part as a fitness person. At that point, I did my supplementation, I did my vitamins, excess carbing, I was eating sick. Even working at the mattress factory, what I was doing is that there were box spring that I was making. So with the box spring that I was making, we were using hydraulic guns to, with staples, pop, 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 pop. So I realized at that point that I could use that hydraulic force to build my shoulders. So they didn't understand what I was doing, but I was eager at it and I was very fast. So we needed to produce 125 of those box spring in an hour. And I was making those box spring probably 135 in an hour because I realized that I would use that as a force to build my shoulders, and that's what I did. And all through that, he realized that back to the trainer, he realized that, and he put me through a training mode and eating six times for the day, and that's how I built my body, and I went to about 182 pounds. When I competed as a novice at 152. We had to diet again and to look the part.
That's 30 pounds in what? In how long did it take you?
That's over about 12. I mean, the leading into the competition, you need 12 weeks of constant vigorous training, whether it has to be lots of cardio. I would remember times when I would run from Dufferin to all the way to Wilson, back and forth, because I wanted to make sure that I was, fit and ready to compete as a novice. Because as a novice, and at the weight class, you had to be at a certain size, and I came down to 152, and I was ready for the competition.
Wow, and this is the outcome of it. This is your third prize, third
place trophy.
Third place trophy. Wow.
Yeah, so it's and whenever time I look at it, I get so much appreciation from it.
And you look so proud now, boy. You should see your face. You should see your face.
Because it to me, when I get to that first, I didn't see the appreciation of it. And at the time when I got the epiphany of starting the underwear brand, it was in the shower I got it. And it was when I was thinking, because I meditate whenever time I'm taking my shower. That's how I meditate and try to keep a mindset in thinking about how to do things, getting my mind clear, using that as seeing myself at the foot of the Niagara. And when I came out of my shower and I got that moment, and when I looked at this trophy, I started to cry. And when I started to cry, all I saw was I could say, "Oh God, why?" But then there was some connection with the trophy and understanding the spirit, knowing that the spirit allowed me the energy, the wisdom, the knowledge, with all of that, to know that I could create this physique, get this trophy, and at the same time giving me an understanding where I could actually start a business out of just of an idea, right? So with that, I cried. So you may say, oh, you see your face, is because there is a connection in all of these pieces coming together from just somebody giving me an opportunity in a gym where no, it's a business for me and a certification from a reputable company here.
Wow. So many people these days have a personal trainer. It seems like at times that everybody and their cousin is a personal trainer. Right? You're not a personal trainer right now. You're going for your personal trainer
Yes.
accreditation, but
Accreditation,
you
yes.
are an advisor, I guess,
Yes.
or a consultant, right? And we see that, as you mentioned, with help, as much as you've been in doing the novice bodybuilding, that this trainer came to you to offer to bring you up to the heights. What then? How crucial are trainers? Because I can go and run and try to get my thing on my own, go on YouTube and so on. But what's the role of trainers today then? Personal trainers.
I think personal trainers are important, but having a right personal trainer is what is key, because you don't want to have a trainer where the trainer don't have your best interests, where it's just about the money. How I take my program in a case where in my consultation, I find what is your 5 purpose. The first one is what's your why. Your why has to be the reason to which you want to go to the gym, the reason why you want to have a personal trainer. Then if you're able to establish all of that, then I create a program for you where after 12 weeks, you don't need me after that. Right? With some trainers, they continuously taking your money. Well, that's their thing. But my thing is, I work with you to ensure that you are able, after 12 weeks, to move on to another path.
So I can, for instance, if I want to say, have you help me set up whatever my version of a gym with the necessary equipment I have or I need, you'd be able to come and do that too?
I would be able to come and do that. I can tell you, if you want to have your in-home resistance, because most of my programs are resistance training, lots of elastic bands, lots of your own body weight, medicine ball, push-up racks, pull-up racks. So those stuff are what I would tell you exactly what you want. So I will tell you this is for your body. Then what I'll do is that I create a program for you, which with my program is 4 programs I have: full body weights, full body sculpting, buns of steel, abs of steel, and lose baby weight with a passion, right? So you tell me which of those programs you're interested in. I design that program for you, and then I give you what is it that you need for those elements in terms of your workout, and you take that and you're going after your 12 weeks, after you buy my program, after 12 weeks.
Wow. And as much as you tout the idea of personal trainers and gyms, for instance, in the book you constantly outline and make the fact known that you can do a lot of this without all that equipment, that you can do stuff on your own, whether you're at work at a desk or you're at home, using the stairs and so on, and using the idea of your own body weight as a tool. Expound on that, as our senior hall used to say. Expound on that.
So tell me now, because I would say 30 years ago, 35 years ago or 40 years ago, when Arnold Schwarzenegger came out with with the idea about bodybuilding. Before him, many years before him, what did our ancestors did? Our ancestors were chasers. They used to be in the fields. They used to go out and they used to dig with their hands. They used to, all of those things. That's what they used to do back in the days. So with all of what has happened over the years, is technology has increased, globalization, people thinking about how to make money and profit and all of those stuff. That's where the gym came from. Out of that idea where people are now talking about, you have to have dumbbells and all of those stuff. Because if you decide that, okay, you live in an apartment building, you're on the 6th floor of the apartment building, why you can't walk up this? If you're not disabled, why can't you walk up the stairs, right? When I was going for my competition, I would walk with my groceries. I was on the 11th floor, and I would walk with my groceries all the way up. I would walk with my laundry because the laundromat is on the ground floor. I would walk with throw it on my back, and I would go up. And that helped me, right? So you have to find, if you're not one of those persons who have the money to spend on a personal trainer or on a gym, and at the same time, there's no excuse because there's so many parks that are here.
True.
That have so many things. I lived in Brampton last year, and I moved to Toronto now. And Sandalwood and Credit View have a park. Which for me this summer, I'm thinking that what I'm going to do is that for once a week for summer, I'm going to go to Credit View Park, ask people to come and train with me in Credit View Park, because there are so many things in the park that you can use to exercise. So there's no excuse. You have the community gyms that the city of Toronto pay for, you and I as a taxpayer pay for. So there's no reason for you not to go there. If you decide that you go there and you don't have a trainer, as you say, on YouTube, there are videos on YouTube, or reach out to me, bunsandsteele.com/skipthegym. I'll come and I'll work with you, right? So it's no excuse for an individual not to keep and be healthy.
Because, of course, speaking of things that you can do it in your own home or outside in the backyard or in a park, is the two things that come to mind straight away is push-up and sit-up. In the book, you give a number of others. Can you just give the audience a little bit more idea of what other things they can do in their home using their own weight as a tool?
Push-ups, plank. They're like for the midsection, like as we were having a conversation off camera, in terms of the midsection, that people do aerobics to lose midsection weight. There's an exercise that's called plank, which what that does is that it helps to work on the midsection. If you would go on, say for instance, your arms, your forearms, laying straight out, lay forearms onto your tip of your toes, right? This way, keeping the midsection very tight as possible, right? Making sure that you're focusing on your breathing, because it's important to focus on the breathing. Keeping the midsection tight, focus on the breathing, then what is helping is that it's allowing you to regenerate good oxygen in the body, in and out. Oxygen in and out, right? Can go on the back, same thing, 90-degree up, bringing the chest forward. If you have probably a yoga block or something, of a round surface, you can put it to support the lower back. If you support the lower back, then that's what gives you, that is giving you support so you're not pushing away. So the 90-degree angle will help you with the feet up and the neck up, and then you're working the midsection at the same time, right? If you're doing for the squats, easy squat, easy down, easy up, easy down, easy up. Lunges, leg forward, leg backward, right? You can do stationary lunge, it depends on how wide your living room is, or if you have a patio or wherever, you can do easy exercises, whether it's the winter time or summertime, or you can go outside on your front of your lawn or wherever in that's case.
Wow. With all of that being said, though, where it's so easy to do, you can do it. You don't have to actually do a gym or get a personal trainer. Why is it then that so much of the population in North America, 2/3 of the population, doesn't get enough exercise? And as much as I was astounded by this following statistics, that because gyms are all over, you see them all over the place, popping up left, right, and center, and so on. That just over 10% of people actually of the population belong to gyms. So why?
One, it can be because of the money. Two, because people don't have time. And three, because they become so busy.
But time, you sure you can do it? What does it take? 3 times a week, 15 to 20 minutes?
15 to 20 minutes a day, right? In one of the chapters that I write about, it's on once a man, twice a child, right? Where once a man was when my grandmother told me that as a child, you were raised and your parents has to nurture you. When you become older, somebody has to take care of you. But when in the middle, you're taking care of yourself. But if you, as a young person in your whatever age, starting to make sure that you're going to the doctor, getting a regular checkup, making sure that you're taking care of yourself, so when you get older, you're able to take care of yourself when you get older, right? Not necessarily that when you're in your 50s or 60s, you can't take care of yourself or you don't get, you know. But every little thing is important in order to make sure that you're keeping yourself healthy.
Mm-hmm. And of course, if you do get into it now, you make the point in the book again, using the metaphor of a cat waking up from a nap, which cats do the cats nap all the time, man. They actually stretch before they start moving out, right? And it's one of the cardinal rules of exercise is that you stretch before you do. Yes. A lot of people don't know that, as you point out too, that you actually should stretch. You stress that you should stretch after the exercise too.
Prior to.
Prior.
Waking up in the morning.
Mm. Before you walk out the door.
The first thing as I wake in the morning, the first thing as I get up, when my alarm goes off. Mm-hmm. I'm a guy never used to like to wake at the sound of the alarm. Mm-hmm. Hence, I went and start my own business because I don't like to be waked by the alarm.
The snooze button is not enough for you?
I don't like the snooze.
9 p.m.
I need to wake at my own leisure, right? But because circumstances, I have to be waked by the snooze button. When I wake by the snooze button, I get up. The first thing I say, Lord, thank you for a new day. And I stretch. And I allow myself, and I gather my thoughts. Because what I try to do constantly is to try to remember my dreams, right? So
you're doing better than me, boy.
So I try to remember my dreams, wake up, Lord, thank you for a new day. And I go into a state of 5 minutes of meditation, then go into my stretches. You think, say, if you cut me off in traffic, me business with you, me no business with you.
You're centered.
Because I'm centered. It's the first thing you do. So if you're able to find your center of gravity in the morning, understanding it's a new day, it's a new opportunity, it's time for you to come into yourself, understand who you are as a person, knowing that you are. And if you find that center space, then you know that nobody can trouble you because you're not going to allow anyone to take your power. You hold your power, they don't control your power. So if you cut me off in traffic, I'm not fazed because I know that I am centered. And if you rush, then that's when you cause accident. And if you're confused, that's when everything else starts to tumble around you. But if you wake in the morning, you stretch, you find your center, you know that today is going to be a great day. As in, I make my affirmations and I said, I'm happy and I'm grateful that everything in this day is for my highest good. I'm happy and grateful that everything in this day will be, because you're speaking into the presence, you're speaking into the awareness, you're knowing that you are a part of a body, and you know that the source energy lives within inside of you. And if you're able to find that source energy, then what else is going to happen? So you stretch, find your center, and you're ready to go, right? And all of those things are things that are easy, less stress, because there's too much stress that's happening around you already. And if you're going to take on him, she, everybody that's stressed, everything else because the kids are crying, this, your wife will give you, oh, honey, this, then you're going to have, then you're not able to be at your best self, right? So if you're able to take 5 minutes in the morning just to relax your mind, find your center, stretch a little bit, stretch those, then you're ready for the day.
And of course, you keep on stressing that stretching is way important because it can starve off incoming pain in the form of a strain or a sprain.
A lot of it.
Explain the mechanics though of that, the physiology of stretching, especially in relation to you running out there and exercising or doing the stuff at the gym.
So
what does it do?
It releases the endorphins in the muscles, right? So you're able to go for a more longer stretch, right? Say for instance, if I'm going to go for a pull-ups, my pull-up should not be in a half center. It should be for a full stretch. Because I went and I warm up my muscles first, then it allowed me to expand the joints further, right? So for me, it's doing all of those little movements, whether it has to be with, if I'm going to do my back exercise, then I know that, okay, I'm going to do my full body stair climbing, right? And the stair climbing will keep my blood warm, keep me going, and then I'm ready for my exercise.
Wow. So, hey, let's get back to the show. So here you are, bodybuilding, which gives you a chance to hit two of your ambitions at the same time. You got the underwear modeling situation happening, and you got the fitness with the body physique that you need. But to come up with bamboo in the shower, here in the shower, to come up with an underwear made out of bamboo, yes. I want to hear how that came about, bro.
The idea around the bamboo part didn't come around until after when I actually went to manufacturer, because I didn't have any money, honestly, to start this business. I was working with the mattress place. I went to a friend and I said to the friend, well, before I went to the friend, and before the underwear, all of that came about, there was a school, Everest College, that was in Brampton. I was working at the mattress place. I went to Everest College and I did an intake at Everest because I decided I wanted to do business. And I went to Everest, they did the intake and they said, based on your experience and based on your years of work, we would encourage you to do business because business would be better for you, right? So I said, okay. I look at it and they said, oh, it's going to cost you $15,000 for the class.
Ooh,
like, okay.
Yeah.
So I was like, Then they started to talk about payment plan and everything. But I don't know if the signs were written on the wall, you know, that the business was going to close down, and I never went and paid for the rate and, you know, all of those stuff. And a little after that, the Everest College closed down. So that didn't happen. And on January 15th, 2015, the mattress factory decided that they were going to go onto a second shift from, so they have the day shift and they're going to do night shift, afternoon shift.
Them beds is selling.
Yes, they're going to do a second shift. So the second shift would start at 4 o'clock and finishes at 12:30. So I was like, okay. I was with the company 3 years prior to. I was a senior person in the company at that point. I decided, okay. So I look at it and I calculated and I said, with all of that comes increase in salary.
Nice.
And an opportunity for me to become a United Steelworker shop steward, right? So I said, okay. It's going to be a change in lifestyle because here is it that I used to work days. Now I'm going to go on to nights, which is just, to me, it's still an opportunity because when we do overtime, because they were running so much overtime and hence the second shift came about because they were running so much overtime. They were giving you coffee and Tim Hortons coffees and donut, or what they were giving you when you do overtime, because they decided, okay, because it's a unionized company, they have to provide you food after how many hours after that they have to provide you something
like
to
a
eat.
union, brother, man.
You know, so they have to provide you something else to eat. So I realized that when I drink the coffee, I couldn't sleep at night. You know, because even though I'm from Jamaica, I shouldn't say love coffee, but drink coffee, but wasn't a huge coffee lover. Yeah. I realized that the coffee from Jamaica is completely different from the one that we have here. The caffeine in it is, you know, completely different. I don't know for some reason, but the taste of it is different.
Wait, it's stronger here?
Stronger, yeah. It's stronger and tastes a little different. So I realized I couldn't sleep. So I was like, okay, so if this is the case, I'm going to transition to the night shift because I'm experimenting now with different things, and I realized that it's going to be more money, but at the end of the day, I'm still going to miss going to the gym, but I can still go to the gym in the daytime. So I decided I'm going to go onto the evening shift, become the highest paid worker onto the evening shift. With that money I'm getting from work, I went to a friend of mine and I said to the friend, I want to start my own underwear business. He say, how much money you have? He's like, I don't have no money. So what do you mean by no money? I said, okay. So I started to calculate now, how much money am I going to get per week, plus the opportunity for me to make overtime, right? I started Buns of Steele underwear with $250.
Wow.
$250 when I started. That $250 was what I used to go and get the sample of the underwear. I asked a friend of mine in Jamaica who was a designer. I said, can you design me some samples of underwear for me? He said, sure. Design me the samples of underwear, send it to me on Facebook or wherever. I don't know, or text or whatever, and send it to me. And I transcribed it and I took it to the pattern maker. The pattern maker saw the design, made me one sample of underwear from it, and it's like, oh, wow. And when I saw the sample of it, it was like, oh my God, I have my own underwear brand. So that epiphany moment, epiphany moment came, was like, oh my God, I have my own underwear. But the fabric was Brazilian knit. So it was a very soft material, but not the bamboo. So after I get the sample and everything now, pay the thing, I was like, I feel like I was stuck. Because
what now?
Now, I have to go find money now for go production. If I have money now for go get more design and styles and
You
sizes.
got work to do, brother, man.
You know? So it's like, oh my God, how am I going to do this now? So you know what I did? The same night shift that I was on, we started to show partner.
And you get at the beginning, middle, and end?
I get the beginning and I get the end.
Sweet.
Me get goosebumps by just saying that.
Gosh. That's a nice strategy, though, isn't it?
So I get the beginning and I get the end.
Pop right at the top,
So I said,
baby.
okay. And I tried to save as much as I could, because remember now I get overtime. At this point I was getting about $17.25
That's kind of decent
an hour
still.
plus overtime.
Damn.
So I was taking home about $700 and something a week. I was only paying like $650 because I was living at Chalk Farm at the time. I was paying about $650 for rent. So if I'm paying $60.50, so I'm using 1 week to pay my rent, and the rest of that money I employ that to my business.
Man, there's food and all them other things to mind you.
Something me tells them I got a dollar store.
That's your no frills.
Yes. And I went to the dollar store. The first year of my business, I brought in 17,000 Canadian dollars. The first year of my business when I went to market. Right? So the money that I got from the first and the money that I got from the last, the manufacturer who made a sample for me said to me, I asked her, where can I buy fabric? She says, there's a place in King and Dufferin called Telio Fashion. It's a fashion fabric store. They will give you samples. They will tell you exactly whatever. So I went there and I bought the call up. A big shot now, you know. A big shot.
CEO.
So I call up now and say I would like to book an appointment to come in and check fabric. I have video and everything too. So I go in and me look on fabric, you know, because my previous job, when I was in Jamaica with the same man who sent me to the gym, when I left Jamaica, I left as a sales and purchasing manager.
Plus, you were also a seamstress.
Because my grandmother teach me.
Taught
And
you
with
so.
that knowledge, I took that knowledge and I went to work into a dressmaking factory, which they said I shouldn't call myself seamstress and some call me a tailor. But
Hey,
you know,
whatever, 6 half a dozen,
so-
blah, blah.
that knowledge is all of what I put and combine everything together. And I went to this Telio Fashion place, look at fabric, and I felt the bamboo fiber. It's like the same store that I worked in Jamaica. The owner says, yes, may we take the underwear?
Your underwear?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
He said, yes, may we take the underwear?
Ay, ay, ay.
But the fabric where I first used to make the underwear,
The original sample.
the original sample, I couldn't sell it as an underwear in Jamaica because it wasn't fabric. It wasn't cotton, neither was it the bamboo. It was more like of a polyester kind of a material. But I was so excited that I went and I manufactured must about 15
Oh, God.
pieces already, because me was so excited that they have underwear and everything. But then what I realized is that the fabric couldn't supply me in Jamaica because it would be too hot. The bamboo fiber that I got in sample from the Telio Fashion now, I had to buy more than 50 meters, 30 meters, Because remember me, just a small man now. They're not looking
Small,
at me.
excuse me, go ahead.
Not the
go
guns,
ahead.
not the not the guns. I mean the money in the
Small
pocket.
man.
I mean the money in the pocket.
Okay, dig,
you understand me?
dig,
The
dig,
money
dig,
in the pocket. So in order for me to buy certain amount of fabric volume, I have to have certain amount of money. I don't have it. So I wheel and come again. And I say, okay, you know what? I still gotta go forward still. I'm going to go back in the partner again after I finish after 6 weeks. Same first and last. I'm going to buy the bamboo fiber. And on December 5th, 2015, I launched. I had a party with over 125 people, red carpet laid for my party.
Samples?
Samples, underwear, everything ready to go. News media, Toronto Caribbean News, cover it. Advertisement in the paper, models, all of those stuff. Start with $250. Just for an idea in the shower.
Wow.
Right?
Other people be singing their favorite R&B songs or whatever, and you're there meditating. And
So there are different components of individuals, but you have to first understand what is your why? Why do you do what you do? Right? So when I saw that, I was like, okay. And I got the underwear into 5 retail stores. I got the underwear into having the Toronto Firefighters as my biggest models.
Nice touch.
So
nice
on the
calendar too.
Yes, made in Canada.
I mean,
made in Scarborough and made in
calendar as in
calendar. Yes.
January, Mr. January.
I don't know how I forget to carry it.
Oh, yeah.
Because I have 2018, 2019 calendar for Buns of Steele in there, big models wearing my underwear, firefighters.
The fire department were they getting cut or what?
So hold on, man. Me tell you how that the underwear. Come here, I get goosebumps now with this
I
story.
see you sweating with you. Makeup. Can we get a towel over here?
I get goosebumps from this story because it was a friend of mine. Because my number 7 in the Raptors was my eye.
Number 7?
Number 7 was my eye.
Who? Lowy?
Number 7 in the Raptors was my eye.
Take 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Number 7
go,
was
Raptors,
my eye.
Go.
Right? For who I wanted to be the brand ambassador for Buns of Steele.
Because that boy have some buns on him, though. You ever see him back and you see when he back and do so. We used to call it cock up. I think we call that cock up.
So he was my eye for that brand. And when I went to my marketing strategy, I have within my second year, of that 17 something thousand that I made from the business, I had 8 people working for me now. Marketing team, digital team, working for me and all of those stuff. Virtual assistant. My virtual assistant created a monologue where we're going to pitch to the Raptors and we're going to personalize each pair of underwear to the Raptors. We're just going to send them a box of underwear personalized to them.
Nice.
Right? But then it proved harder than I thought it would be. Right? So I said, okay, you know what? If you shoot for the sky,
you're going to get somewhere.
You will drop from the cloud. Right? And a friend of mine says to me, you know what I think you should do? Try for the Toronto Firefighters.
In fact, to tell the truth, it might even be more something marketing-wise. Go ahead.
It did prove to be much more easier than I thought it would be.
Sometimes nothing beat a fail but a try. Is a saying somewhere like that?
Honestly, I didn't try. I'm going to tell you, it came to me.
You're joking, even after that?
I tell you, it came to me.
Boy, when's your birthday? What kind of luck you got with?
So when my friend said it to me, in my meditation, I put it in the vortex. The vortex for me is things that you put, so just like you have a basket, and you put things in your basket like what you want, right? So in my meditation, I put into the vortex the firefighters, and all I keep seeing is the firefighters, the firefighters, the firefighters, the firefighters. One of the store where I went to a networking event. At the networking event that I went to, there was someone there who knows someone who is a relative of someone that has a store. Right? And with the store, the person with the store said, yes, you can come and let me see what product you have. They bought the product from me, and they said, okay, they're going to have an event. Would I like to come with them to the event? And I said, sure.
Wow.
When I went to the event, the Toronto Firefighters were exhibiting at the event. So me see the guy walk with the T-shirt, and just like come here have my T-shirt. Me see the Toronto Firefighters are pass. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Oh gosh, what?
So we run him down and I said to him, I said, this is just too. I said, this is just too weird. So he said, it's like. I said to him, if you ever know how much I'm dying to meet one of you people. And he said, why? I said, because I have I said, this underwear brand, it was like I was so loved for the Toronto Firefighters to wear this underwear, X, Y, and Z. It's like, yeah, we would love to wear it. He says, give me the number and says, the person who does the calendar and everything is going to be here this afternoon. We will call you, and when he comes, you can talk to him. Now, like, we're talking... June, call me in June. Say in August we're going to be having the event for the launch of the calendar. We would love for you to come. I would love for you to provide the underwear, and we would love for you to be there. The proceeds from it is going to go to the Princess Margaret Hospital, Cancer Research, X, Y, and Z. And the second year they call me again, ask me if I would love to do it, which is for this year. And it's like,
wow. Take me to the book then. Take me to the book, because you've gotten some business experience with the underwear, and now you got the book, Buns of Steel, The Unstoppable Pursuit of Fitness, which are, I should say, 10%. Is it 10% of the...
$5 from every copy sold.
Is going to the Walnut, Foundation, which works on prostate cancer and diabetes. Take me through the book and take me through your work with the Walnut Foundation.
Okay. So with the book, the first book, because this is actually my second book, but the first one I didn't publish. The first one was on men's underwear, right? Because in the third year of the business, I decided I was going to do a lot of networking, because that's the only way you're actually going to get visibility, by you going out there, people seeing you and stuff like that. So I started to go to networking event, and on one of the events I went to was the Raymond Aarons, which is the publisher of the book, who forwarded the book for me and write the book through his organization. Said to me, when I went to the event, I didn't go, because I knew I wanted to be an author, but I didn't know I wanted to be an author so soon, right? So I went to the event, I was there, minding my own business, just get my gold American Express credit card for Buns of Steel, right? Cause now, you know, from never go on, you know, when I was 250, me start with business now. Now me have gold credit card.
Oh gosh.
American Express. Even though you have to pay it back.
Boy, don't brag. Right, don't brag. You're larging it up.
Yeah. So even though having that and still have to pay it, because whatever you use, you have to pay back, right?
Of course, yeah.
So I went to this event now and I saw, you know, talking about would you know, if you're going to be a barber, would you be a barber that want to be the barber that has a sign that everywhere you go, that, you know, that sign that, you know, the roll sign with the red, the green, and the white sign that indicate that you're a barber, you know? Or are you going to be like a book on a shelf that you stand out, right? Or do you want to be in the sea of sameness? So it's like, what is that? The sea of sameness. You know, it's like, you have to stand out. And when you become an author, that's when you stand out. Because now it's a wow. People see you differently.
Wow.
See?
Absolutely. Thank you so much, André Rose, fitness and wellness professional. Steele by André Rose, the underwear line. And the book is Buns of Steel, The Unstoppable Pursuit of Fitness, which is sort of like part autobiography, memoir, yes, part instructional booklet, part wellness, fitness, exercise, and it's a good effort, man. Excellent effort. The introduction for the book is forward by Raymond Aaron, New York Times best-selling author. So how do people get in touch with you, André?
Well, first, this book will be available. Well, it is available here at the different book lists. You can also get this book as well on Amazon. Buns of Steel, André Rose. It's also going to be launched in Indigo Book Store, 55 Bloor Street on the 13th of July.
That's Bloor and Bay in
Bay
Toronto.
and Bloor, yeah, so it's going to be at Bay and Bloor, 55 Bloor in the Manulife Center. You can find me on social media at RoseAndre9 on Instagram, Facebook, Buns of Steel, YouTube, Buns of Steele. And for the underwear, it is Steele at Steele by André Rose. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you so much. This has been Soil to Soul 360. We'll see you one more time.